And welcome to Justice Served TV. Michael Bryant here. Sorry, a little more cash today, but it's been very busy. We have some exclusive breaking information here on the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case. It is 12/3/25. This is the day the case was supposed to be ripe for the SJC. Well, we've got a surprise for you. And Ms. Demeanor is here, and it's been a crazy day in the Walshe case. I have, I'm suited up. I said, hold on a second. I said, wait a minute. That really was going to be very dramatic. I said, oh, I can't find it now. I said, I'm suited up.
Justice, where are you? Michael and Linda are here.
Love you, Linda.
The world is justice. Will we ever find justice?
The courthouse the other day in the hallway, you're singing,
Will
"Oh
we
Happy
know
Day."
justice when we see it? To be and Damila lead the way. Hoping justice will win the day. It's Nary Clues, finding justice where we can. Join us now, we're on the run. Justice is waiting, we'll see it done.
All right, very important but kind of grisly day in the Brian Walshe case. Not a good day for him, and certainly in the thinking about what happened to his wife, a horrible story, the retelling. So we're going to get geared up for that. But before we do that, we have the new paperwork in the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case. I wish I could say it was a decision, but it's not. But what it is a response, I should say officially, a reply by the Tim Bradle team to the response, which we went over in major detail, which was provided by the Commonwealth. And remember got us in trouble. Remember what happened? We started going through this, not just the filing, but we had the appendix, which is not out there. We had it. And in it were all of these statements by the alien and an alleged girlfriend of Kelsey Fitzsimmons. All of that we shared for the first time, and we got ripped off of YouTube. We believe, when they do one of these strikes, they say it's either bullying or it is, violating community standards, whatever the hell that means. And then you have a chance to go in and edit out the part they say was the violation, which I did 4 times. One of the violations, and they give you a time code. Here it is. They also say this may not be the only violation. So basically, they're setting you up for continued edits that are then continually rejected. And they pull you off. They pull it off, not the channel, but they pull the content off. The last one they posted with the time code were the pictures of LKB and Dr. Michael Bodden at their 25th anniversary dinner. Yeah, somehow that violated community standards. I don't know how. And bullying. We were accused of bullying a couple times as well. We believe this was beyond bots. We believe that somebody, perhaps on the side of the alien, decided this was mean. Don't be mean. And they complained. And let's just say YouTube is about as skittish as a schoolgirl. They get nervous. Oh, somebody's complaining. And I don't think they do much in terms of investigating. When you appeal the decision, it probably just goes to a senior bot rather than a new bot. And in this case, it was continually rejected. So I'm saying that because keep your eyes open. I don't know how long what we're about to talk about is going to be up. But I am very happy to bring along a little bit of help. I need some help. There she is. Janet, Ms. Demeanor is here. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Happy hump day to you, Michael
Happy
Bryant.
Hump Day. I think I have a sexual harassment claim. People love
Okay,
Ms.
YouTube.
Demeanor, and that is why she's back. Truly by popular demand. We do appreciate what you bring to the mix, and I'm glad you were able to squeeze us in for the evening. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to be on with all of you lovely and delightful folks on Justice Served TV.
Yes, and we got some stuff we're going to be talking about a little bit. We got this, and we got this, and I got a hatchet somewhere. It's just
what a day, huh?
Oh my gosh, it was not a day to be the defendant, but we're going to talk about how there is an argument, crazy as it may sound, that none of that affects the charge that currently exists against him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm super excited to talk about it.
He chopped her up. Yeah, sure did. So did Scandorito. So anyway, let's get into this document because this is where is it right here? I've got a copy of it somewhere. This is where'd I put it? There it is. It's hot. It's hot off the press. It's
Careful
that,
there.
It's that fresh. It doesn't even have a court stamp on it. Maybe somebody is just funning with me, and it's
That would be
they
bad.
just made something up. I know that would be bad.
That'll definitely get you stricken.
That might. Here's something I just made up and filed. I hope you like it. So this is, and I'm sorry, I haven't highlighted anything. It's only maybe 10 pages, so we're going to just go through it.
Cool.
Okay. Again, this is
I'm here for it. Yes.
Yeah,
Let's spill all the tea.
Stop me, chime in, however you want to contribute. I'm ready for it. So there's Timmy and Martha Coakley, co-counsel on this. Table of contents. We'll leave that for those who really like to read stuff. I do not. Introduction. Now remember, as a background, they filed the appeal after the single justice. Who was the single justice? Dewar.
Hooch. Judge
Hooch. Judge Hooch. And she said, no, I think Judge McCarthy Neiman did the right thing. This is an appeal now to the full panel, minus Dewar. And today was the day that they were supposed to consider the matter.
Correct.
Mr. Bradel had said, hey, we don't even need to do a reply brief. We're good. In fact, he did that in an effort to get them to speed up their decision to November 21st so that, I don't know, crazy idea, maybe Kelsey could be out for the first of the holidays, Thanksgiving. They said, no, denied. We're looking at 12-3. Everything was still okay. Then the responsive brief came out, the one that we got whacked by putting on. And there was so much stuff in that.
Yeah.
It was inappropriate, according to Tim Bradel, the appellant, that he said, we got to do a reply brief. And so that's where this comes from. This originally was not even intended. And I'm not sure anybody else on the planet has one. Now comes appellant Kelsey Fitzsimmons and respectfully submits a reply brief in the instant matter. The Commonwealth's submission to the full bench dramatically expands its position far beyond the limited scope asserted in the trial court hearing under appeal and raises new issues that were neither presented nor litigated by them below meaning the trial court. Appellant addresses those new contentions herein in the context of the appeal. Whether the Superior Court's revocation of release issued sua sponte, that's on the court's own notice, without proper findings, and without adherence to law, blah, 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 constituted an error of law warranting relief. And everybody's getting very familiar, I'm sure, with 58A and 58B. This is the wacky Massachusetts dangerousness hearing.
Oh, yes.
So
she's
you find you're a dangerous, then they're going to lock you up or put conditions on your release.
Well, it's all part of the alcohol business too, with what the decision was, which I to this day don't understand how that has a single bit of bearing on this, other than it's complete bovine scatology.
That some flatulence.
That too.
That crazy bachelorette party. Have you ever been to a bachelorette party where there was nobody drinking?
I didn't drink at my own bachelorette party.
Wow.
I'm not a drinker, so that was just it's just not my thing.
Were others drinking?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, we crashed a bar, and because mine was a pajama party, we all went to the bar in our pajamas, and
cool.
It was a local bar, but yeah, you have fun on your bachelorette party.
Of course. And so we read this
break.
last time, these affidavits and the statements. They weren't some of them were not affidavits. They were just statements somebody typed up, one from the alien and one from a girlfriend, alleged girlfriend. This is a great girlfriend. They were friends through high school, 18, and then they didn't see one another for 10 years.
Exactly. And then she flips.
Yeah, and then she
oh yeah, let me tell you all about this girl. I remember her. Yeah. Way to be a mean girl.
I mean, really, what did Kelsey steal her boyfriend at some point or something?
Probably. Or maybe she's gotten fat and Kelsey hasn't, so she's jealous.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't even know what the woman looks like. So please don't come hating on me. I'm just saying I know women.
Her name was like Mazzotti or Mazzato or
yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
So, moving on to the argument here, the Commonwealth brief improperly expands the scope of the appeal. Before the Superior Court in the hearing at issue here, the Commonwealth stated only one simple request: to maintain alcohol monitoring. appellate held under the court's order, agreed in principle, but by a different means, which is where Justice Serve TV comes in. We will pay for whatever that alternate means of testing may be. The probation department likewise agreed there was no violation. But remember what the judge said, McCarthy Naaman?
Yeah.
I'll decide that, sir. I'll be the one that makes that decision, sir.
I am judge, hear me roar. That's a bit what it sounded like to me.
Talk about having a bad day, or maybe that's just her. I don't know. Despite this narrow framing, the Commonwealth now submits a 41-page brief, which we went over in some nauseating detail, and 130-some pages in the appendix, which is where we got into trouble, according to the YouTube overlords. Addressing, this is a legal term, everything under the sun, disputed facts, praising and defending the Superior Court's actions, and presenting a narrative far beyond the scope of the question that was before the single justice. And in her honor, I think I'm going to just
take a swig, Michael. As long as we're talking about drinking.
I have to drink for two because you're not drinking. So
I like want to shiver just watching you drink it.
Yeah, well, I think that's the doers. I don't think it's not good. This expansion is inconsistent with the procedural posture of the appeal vis-a-vis the Commonwealth and obscures the core issue, the lawfulness of the Superior Court's sua sponte revocation of bail. Number two, the Commonwealth relies on allegations the grand jury did not credit. Remember, there was an attempt to have her charged with 3 different things, including intent to kill. Murder.
She was all hopped up, ready for them to come barging in there so she could just open fire on everybody.
Yeah, it was
in the room with no door.
It was a trap. She swatted them. Yeah, it's insane. The Commonwealth's principal factual argument relies on the assertion that appellant pointed a loaded firearm at a colleague, pulled the trigger, and attempted to fire again. These allegations were presented to the grand jury that said, bullshit. If credited,
bovine scatology.
Yes, they would have supported the requested charge of armed assault with intent to murder. The grand jury rejected that theory and returned only 1 count of assault with a dangerous weapon, an entry-level Superior Court offense. And folks may remember who heard at the hearing last week. Seems like it was so long ago, just last week.
No, it was just
when
last
Judge
week.
Drexler.
Drexler? Or...
Well, I went with Drexler, and I heard it pronounced Drexler, like
yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
However anybody wants to pronounce their name, I'm good with that.
Who are we?
Yes, that's right. There's no Q in fish, but if somebody wants to pronounce it that way, they can. So this guy says this is normally something that would be handled through the district court, which in Massachusetts is the lowest level court. So he was effectively acknowledging it's an overcharge.
Yeah.
And over procedurally handled. You can have this charge, but normally it wouldn't be Superior Court.
Well, this is a relatively minor. I mean, her part in what is alleged or claimed is exceptionally minor. The individual that actually caused significant bodily harm has absolutely nothing. Was he even suspended?
I think there was a very short suspension, but it was very hush-hush. Whatever they did.
I mean, honest to Pete.
Yeah. Again, that all hinges on his story that she pointed a gun at him. And how do we know that ever happened? We'll never know what happened. Why?
We will not.
Too cheap to have body cam. That's why.
Yep. Well, that too.
And we heard today in Walshe, as a crossover here, no body cam in Walshe. And not only did they not have it in 2023,
they still don't have it. I know. I was like, what was that I just heard?
Justice Serve TV is happy to help out, but we're not going to provide them body cams. That's where we draw the line.
You're a wealthy community. Pay up.
Get your own body cams, damn it. Okay. The grand jury rejected this theory and only 1 count, an entry-level Superior Court offense. The notion that appellant intended to murder a colleague cannot be treated as a credible allegation where the grand jury declined to indict on that basis. Yet, the Commonwealth's brief repeatedly presents these rejected allegations as though they were findings of guilt or fact. Dangerousness determinations, which are ludicrous on their face, must be tethered to reliable evidence. No accusations that failed at the grand jury stage. In other words, you can't bring these back to life just because you're mad the grand jury didn't follow your lead.
Yeah, it really is outrageous that the Commonwealth. I don't know why I should be outraged. I should
Yeah,
be fully
yeah,
expecting all of this, but to literally double down on basically everything. It's like, excuse me, you lost on those charges on that scenario. You lost.
yeah.
Oh no, we're not going to take that as a loss. We're just going to keep on bringing it up.
We're regrouping. They obviously didn't understand properly, and everybody knows the grand jury, the whole ham sandwich analogy.
Mhm.
It's a very low threshold, very low. They leave it to the process, trial if necessary, to ferret out what really happened and who's guilty of what. Well, if they don't even get to indictment, that's some pretty flimsy evidence.
And they're just not going to give up on it. This just stinks of Karen Reed type of behavior from her case. It really does. It's so frustrating to me to see it all unfolding again. It is truly a cancer in that state.
It is, as I used to say from the street there, that Karen Reed case is merely a symptom.
Yes.
It is a massive disease there in the I think I have to expand though the triangle of terror. Because it has been Canton, Stoughton, Dedham, but now it's got a further reach. Salem, Plymouth. It's
Well, and this is
growing.
what, Middlesex, is it not?
This one is gosh, I'm getting them confused. Essex.
Essex. Oh, I had
Essex.
the.
They
had part of
wanted
it right.
they that one of the plans.
That's
remember,
right.
The alien
The
wanted
alien
to move
wanted
it
to
to
go.
Middlesex.
That's right. That's where I
Yeah.
was getting it from in my head.
And then there was a magical agreement that no, it really should stay in Essex. That's
Yeah,
just-
when there were a lot of questions the court was asking.
Yeah, and I got the feeling that the alien brought that up to his own attorneys that morning, and we were there. We were the pool camera for that one, and it was just an odd request, and all of his bits and pieces about, well, now my credit cards are here, my driver's license. I mean, the planning that went into that,
Oh,
all for naught. But you can tell that it was a plan, and he was going to get the thing moved away from where he still works at
yes.
North Andover Fire, and he still
I
has
think the
contacts
court.
there.
I think the court was in on it pretty quick, though. She
Well, she
seems
was
like
very
she's
good.
the very sharp
We
judge.
blast these judges, and
There are a lot of really good ones.
they seem to be hiding from some of the more public cases.
Absolutely.
But the Honorable Mary Black was great, and I look forward to hearing more from her as this case proceeds, because there are still some. That's in the probate and family court. There are
Yes.
still some elements of this case that need to play out there. So, because there will be, when Kelsey is released, there will be a change in circumstances request on custody. That'll be
Maybe
the
back
first
in
thing that
front of her.
happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see. The Commonwealth lacks standing to defend the Superior Court's sua sponte revocations. This is kind of a technical objection, but it makes sense here. Because the Commonwealth neither requested revocation nor argued for detention in the hearing at issue, it does not have standing to defend the Superior Court's sua sponte decision. The Commonwealth's stated position below in the trial court, the lower level, was limited to seeking alcohol monitoring appellant agreed to, although only under the umbrella of the trial court's disputed release framework, which again was the condition of scram testing, provided it could be administered in a manner compatible with her documented injuries. This reminds me of that outrageous statement they made in their brief that, hey, it's been 10, 11 weeks since she's been put back in jail. Certainly she's healed now. So
Right.
apparently the attorneys, although a doctorate of jurisprudence is an attorney, I don't think you get a stethoscope and you get to diagnose. I'm pretty sure.
Well, she was also refused a surgery because of her ankle
Yes.
monitoring. So
Yeah.
that
That's
that's
hasn't
all
happened.
pooey. I know.
That still hasn't happened.
So
Um,
yeah, she must have some miracle healing happening while she's in custody.
And then they're basically saying, hey, it's been 10, 11 weeks. Snap out of it, girl.
It's all good.
Go back to the trial court and just say, hey, I'm better now. I could do this. That's an outrageous premise, presentation, and request. And I'm hoping that the SJC spanks them a little bit for that. The Superior Court nevertheless revoked bail without a motion for the Commonwealth, without notice to the appellant, and without findings under 58A and B. An argument not raised below is waived. Check out your Mass Criminal Procedure Section 30, sub C, sub 2. Thus, a party cannot defend on appeal in a ruling it did not pursue below. In other words, the judge, keep hearing the word sua sponte, because she was acting on her own. She wasn't requested by anybody to do anything.
No.
So
well, not what she did. She was, they were requesting, hey, can you change what it is we're actually doing? We're still going to do it. We're still going to do it according to the court's order. And she was like, no, back in custody you go.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening?
As you like to say, no soup for you.
No soup for you.
One of those moments. Number 4. That's Roman numeral 4, right? I always get those confused. The Commonwealth's assertion of trial readiness lacks support in the record. Now, remember, there's been this push, trial. And at the last hearing, it was by Drexler. It was set for the second week, I think, in February. Let's just work toward that. And the judge, was that what it was, the 19th?
I'm pretty sure. They were going to do the 18th, and Bradel had a conflict.
That's right.
So it ended up being the 19th.
That's right. Very good. And Drexler is throwing that out there in the context of, hey, your client's in custody. She may be out before that, but if not, we want to get this thing cranking. Well, maybe it's also because it'll be easier to hide certain actions by the Commonwealth and those operating in the Commonwealth and for the Commonwealth to be revealed.
It sounded very much to me like he was trying to cover for a peer. That's what it looked like to me. Let's get this trial and everything, and then we can just send her on her way, because they know she's not going to get any jail time.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah.
She's not going to get anything. She'll get some probation, and then she will sue the pants off of them.
That's very possible. That's possible.
I know I would.
There is the possibility that Judge McCarthy Naaman is recused. It's been asked. And we'll find out before it goes to trial whether it's going to be in her court or not. If it is in her court and it is a jury trial and they do come back with a conviction, she could incarcerate her.
She could.
There's it's a 5-year max, which would be outrageous for first-time offender, cop, former CO. But outrageousness doesn't stop McCarthy Naaman.
And I actually, I almost, she's like the known evil as far as I'm concerned, because Drexler, he seems way worse. He seems a little loose cannonish to me. The only advantage I could see with him is he did almost allude to the fact that he may have some compassion.
Yeah, especially at the point where it sounded like some of the video evidence might have been, as we see quite often in Massachusetts, erased, replaced, lost.
Yes.
It seems his tone changed just a touch, because he came out of the gate. What an asshole. He was just everything that the Commonwealth said was the way to go, and everything that Tim Bradel said was ridiculous and challenged.
There were moments I felt like he was trying to tell Mr. Bradel how he needed to argue his case in his courtroom. And it was like, that's not your job, sir. You need to take a step back.
You're help
a gatekeeper. Yeah, you're a gatekeeper. You are not the person to tell me how all of this is supposed to go. Yeah, I was very frustrated. It's a good thing I wasn't there.
There was a high level of assholery going on.
Yes.
Commonwealth's assertion of trial readiness lacks support. The Commonwealth asserts that it will be prepared for trial in January. A backdoor way of saying the wrongful incarceration of appellant won't be that bad. Come on, suck it up. But at the time its brief was filed, it had not furnished automatic discovery and had not finished. Remember that whole discussion took place. Most of the hearing was about stuff that Bradel had not received, that they clearly have.
Well, and I mean, you can't expect the Commonwealth to go back, the police department to, I mean, you're expecting them to have all these records? Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of do expect him to
Brett
have
was
all
like,
those records.
why don't you just start with the 3 cops that were there? Maybe have a conversation with them and see how that goes. Unfortunately, the paperwork prepared by Mr. Gubitosi, excuse me, he he made it sound like a whole different process, because he said almost
Oh.
nothing at the hearing with McCarthy Naaman, but he was getting so much support from Judge Drexler that he was much more bold.
Yeah, he was chatty Cathy in that hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but at the time of the brief filing, there was no automatic discovery. It had not been identified. Had not identified the firearm allegedly used, so that's a good start, and had not provided materials necessary for independent expert review. Expert schmexpert. Who needs them? Assertions of trial readiness are not relevant to the question at hand, and in any event, are not supported by the current state of the record. So, in a way, Bradel is saying, this is not before the panel right now, but you should be aware of this.
Correct. You're being put on notice,
Yeah,
so to speak.
Be aware that this, if they don't already know, we know that.
Oh, darn well they know.
And, the robes protecting robes, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. They all know what's happening. Letter V, better known as 5. Appellant's physical injuries were serious, documented, and directly related to her inability to perform scram testing. The Commonwealth states that appellant offered no medical evidence demonstrating her physical condition. This is incorrect. That's a very nice way of saying this is bullshit. This is incorrect. The severity of appellant's injuries, a punctured lung, fractured ribs, and other gunshot-related trauma was obvious, documented, and reflected in official reports. Probation staff witnessed her difficulty performing scram breath testing due to her injuries. Remember, that's what he said. When I set her up, as they said, when I installed it, I could tell that it was causing her problems.
That's right.
Shut up, Mr. Tuesday. John, keep quiet. We'll get to you when we figure out your name. Nonetheless, the Superior Court failed to consider the impact of these injuries on appellant's ability to comply with the condition imposed. The issue before the court, until the trial court's surprise scram ruling, was her mental state and lack of dangerousness as supported by 2 esteemed mental health clinicians, not her physical disability. The Superior Court did not address the 2 expert opinions from Dr. N of Massachusetts General Hospital or Dr. Z, concluding that appellant did not present a danger to herself or others. Harumph. And there you go. I mean, in a nutshell, that's what she was there to determine. And she went off the board for this whole scram thing that she could not let go of. So, number 6. Contrary to the Commonwealth's statements, appellant proposed reasonable alternative to scram testing. Appellant also indicated just to serve TV. Oh, no, that's not in here. Get a plug here. The Commonwealth asserts that appellant presented no alternative to scram breath testing. The record directly contradicts this claim. Appellant proposed urine testing through a probation-approved vendor, an alternative assistant chief probation officer, January. Oh, that's it. Identified as feasible. The Commonwealth's repeated statement that no alternatives were offered is inaccurate, and then cite to the exact moments in time where it was.
Look at how many there are, though.
I know, look at that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 6 times. And then she still cut him off and left the bench.
Yep. I'm done. I'm out of here. There's a sale at Target. I gotta go.
Deuces, gotta go.
Number 7. The procedural complexity below resulted from the court's unexpected concerns. The Commonwealth characterizes appellant's litigation posture as piecemeal. Here, repeated filings were necessary to address matters unexpectedly raised by the trial court's positions that alcohol testing was indicated, urine testing was unknown to it, and the claim that what proof did it have to already filed affidavits that appellant's rib injuries made it difficult to breathe deeply. Appellant's filings addressed issues as the court raised them, not by choice, but by necessity. So as each mole would hop up, they're whack-a-moling them down through these different processes. I don't have a problem with that.
That's the law. That's what you do.
I guess you could try to anticipate some of the things that they then had to address, but good luck with that with this judge. Number 8, the revocation cannot be upheld under 58A or B. The Superior Court's revocation of release did not comply with either statutory scheme. If treated under 58B, required procedural protections that were absent, revocation under 58B requires, this is like a separate hearing, and this was not
Right.
a 58B hearing.
Hearing, no.
Notice, hearing, findings of willful violation or new dangerousness. Okay, because that was already evaluated and determined. That's why she was given probation with conditions of release. That was
because she was deemed not dangerous.
Exactly, and to protect from
Right.
whatever danger there might be, she was given conditions, at-home monitoring, and she had the ankle bracelet. She basically had to stay home except to do certain things. That wasn't up for review. The dangerousness issue was not up for review.
Well, and willful violation wasn't up for review either.
No.
That's what Naaman turned it into, was a willful violation, and it absolutely positively was not.
Yeah.
It was a request for a modification.
And we know that because Mr. Tuesday was very clear. He was fighting so hard.
Oh, he was. What a great guy.
Yeah. And this is a guy who's like the assistant chief something. So he's kind of done it for a while. B, if treated as reconsideration under 58A, sub 4, due process was still required. The appellee stated that the decision was not a revocation. Appellee is the Commonwealth, but rather reconsideration. Regardless of label, 58A4 requires notice and an opportunity to be heard. It's that weird, wacky due process gets in the way. Before modifying a release order, the appellant received neither. Is it neither or neither? Which way do you go?
I'm a neither girl.
You're neither? Okay.
I'm a neither
I tend
girl.
to waffle on that one. How about OFTEN?
Oh, it's so funny you say that. I'm an often.
Okay, I'm an often as well. But often,
I think I looked it up once because I try to say things correctly. So
I do too.
I'm a little particular about that kind of stuff. And
Well,
I looked
I got
it up
one for you
once.
then.
Okay.
Oh
Oh gosh.
We haven't tried.
Uh-oh.
And I'm constantly battling people because they think I'm an idiot and that I'm just making things up.
This is the air to
Yes.
we talked about it one of the
we
other
did
times.
last time. See, I'm obsessed. Back to often. Often, like I have older siblings, they said often. And I think it's come back. I think it's made a comeback.
Well, I will tell you, there are two words that flip me out, and I'm so tired of them being stated incorrectly. One is realtor.
Oh, you mean where they put an extra syllable in there?
It's not a realtor. I need
Yeah.
everybody to do some phonetics and sound that word out. It is
Just
realtor.
Yep, very
Realtor.
good. And I am a broker. I have my real estate license, and I've done a little dabbling. And so I always laughed at that when they make it a 3-syllable word, realtor. Yeah.
The other one is, yes, I'm going to go over there so I can conversate.
Oh, you don't like the
No.
kind of colloquial version of
You are
having a
going to go over
conversation?
there to converse.
Oh, I see. Using it. I thought it was just kind of a clever little way to say
like-
have a conversation. Okay.
It's like everybody says conversate. And it's like, no, you were conversing. It drives me insane. But the realtor, really, I'm like, I think I did a TikTok once about it. That I'm like, y'all,
Yeah.
I got to get this off my chest.
It is, and it's laziness, or maybe it's somebody learned it from somebody who also
Incorrectly.
didn't know how to pronounce it.
I mean, my husband's first language is Spanish. And so his
Muy bien.
he I don't want to say excuse, but his reason for not knowing some of the English words correctly is because that's not how he started life.
Not his first language. Got it. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I there are certain words that I'm like, and he's a very bright man, and so I'll correct him and say, no, honey, it's this. And he's like, why do you correct me? I'm like, because I don't want people to think you're dumb, because you're not. And when you say stuff wrong, people might think that you're less intelligent.
Does he still has a bit of an accent, I'm guessing?
No
accent? Oh, see.
he has an accent.
Yeah, that's what I mean. People will give a pass to somebody with an accent because they
Oh, but
realize it's not their first language.
It's not a Spanish accent. He is from Queens. So he
Okay.
has
Yeah. Then
his
you're right.
family, yes, when his family lived in the States, they lived in New York City. They lived in Queens primarily.
Okay.
And yeah, he'll on occasion, it's an orange and things are
Okay.
horrible and
Okay.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So
How about garage?
he does not say garage.
Does not say
Thank
garage.
God.
I'd never heard that before ever.
No.
And for those who don't know, it's of course Never Say Never that came up with that. And
Exactly.
she now lives in a garage because she has no money.
Or a
Okay.
job.
Where was I? Oh, the appellee stated that the decision was not a revocation. Again, that's the Commonwealth, but rather reconsideration, regardless of the label. There's no notice and opportunity to be heard. Appellant's liberty may not be revoked under a statute that does not permit revocation based on the facts at hand, particularly without observing the procedural safeguards required by due process. I find it on appeal that due process issues have a lot of weight, sometimes
Yeah,
more
they don't
so
like
than
that.
the picky fact-based arguments. It's like, oh, due process. Somebody screwed that up.
Well, that's, the biggest glaring issue in all
No
of
doubt.
this.
No doubt about it. 9. Sorry, footnote 8 and 9 of the Commonwealth's brief contains significant misstatements. Footnote 8 presents a characterization inconsistent with the record and unsupported by any judicial findings. Footnote 9 misstates the role of the full bench under SJC Rule 221. And I don't have it handy, so I can't look at those footnotes, but this should explain it well enough. Suggesting that the full court is limited to reviewing the single justice's determination. In fact, here we go. Where the single justice makes an error of law, the full bench performs de novo review. And the appellee, Commonwealth, was pounding away on how this is not a de novo review. You can't look at these things outside what was filed. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And here's both statutory law and common law. Stack versus Boyle. I have no idea what that case is, but I'm assuming it stands for the proposition that it is de novo, and resolves the underlying bail question to prevent further unnecessary delay and a remand to a lower court judge who would have already made an adverse then reverse ruling consistent with. So, what you have to wonder is, let's assume the full panel says, there was a mistake below, meaning McCarthy, Naaman, and so they send it back to her. Now, at that point, they can have somebody else hear it at that lower level, but Drexler is, I think, one of the only, I don't know how many judges are in that courthouse.
I don't either.
It's not a lot, I don't think. But it could be her, and hopefully she would take the direction of the SJC.
Do you
or
think
she might
Bev
be
would?
pissed off and get further entrenched. You don't know. And that's why Bradel is asking for her to be recused.
Right.
A win may be temporary. We don't know, but obviously getting it reviewed is the first hurdle. Okay, this is about the end here. Hold on. Number 10, the trial courts and the Commonwealth's discussion of mental health history omits the uncontroverted expert opinions. The Commonwealth references appellant's mental health background without acknowledging the two expert evaluations concluding that appellant was not a danger. She was. Remember, she went through that whole process, and would she have been given her gun and badge back and put back on the schedule
if she had
still?
mental health issues?
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to think or would hope. Good grief, there's a lot of hope in this, that there would be some sort of vetting before she would just come back. But, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, Monday night, I went over the Mark Sanchez case. And one of the things that came up in the reading of the civil complaint is that they are going after Fox. And one of the things is that Fox knowingly allowed this employee to be unsupervised. And so immediately I go, oh, is there something in his record or in his file that there have been issues in the past? And so they clearly didn't do any background, but I would think a police department would do the proper background before giving her.
That's why I think they're in my legal term here, cahoots.
Yes.
I think that he has a history with all these boys. We know they don't like girls. They don't like women. We already know that. Too many complaints have been filed against Chief Gray.
Oh.
So that's a strike against her anyway. And then if he's got his in with his buddies on the police department, I asked Tim Bradle on the steps of the courthouse, hey, what's the deal? Is it normal for them to call the father who made the complaint and requested the TRO to come and join the party?
Yes.
10 minutes after? I think we're going to find that is exceptionally unusual.
Yeah,
And the
I would
reason
say
is
so too.
they're doing him a favor. They're cutting him some slack. They're bringing him into the
Absolutely.
mix. They're sandbagging against Kelsey, and that is part of the huge problem here. Hey, I saw somebody contribute to our word salad discussion.
I saw irregardless.
Yeah, irregardless.
Yes, thank
That
you.
one-
That's another one that drives me
another one.
insane. I'm like,
Yeah,
that doesn't exist.
irregardless, and I just wonder how that evolved. Irregardless.
I don't know. Some of these words, I'm just like, when did this go down this path?
Yeah, I know. So it's dangerous being grammar police, as I'm sure you're aware.
Oh, absolutely. But if
very
I'm doing it
dangerous.
wrong, I want somebody to tell me.
I would say the same. Yep. I
But
agree.
on the flip side of that is I'm not a police person where I'm going to call someone out on it. I would never do that. I try to very much be a fix your crown kind of woman. And so I would want to privately just kind of that thing for him.
Yeah,
But
I don't think I've ever taken somebody aside and said, that word. But in the right context, as a teaching tool,
Yeah.
I'm not shy about doing that.
no, Mr.
Um,
Demeanor knows that I will privately like, hey, that's not how you
And,
say
and
that.
yeah, and obviously you've done that, and you're doing that person a favor.
Yeah,
It-
I go
you know.
back to friends with the supposedly and supposedly.
Oh, there's another one. There's another one. So that's supposedly how you say it. Mm.
And then he kept saying the whole time, supposedly.
Yeah, that's one of the. And then you just get caught in that rut. Okay, where are we here? Oh, the mental experts. These opinions are unchallenged in the record and must be considered in any dangerousness analysis. And now the biggie, of course, number 11. Alcohol use played no role in the underlying incident. The allegations concerning alcohol derive from an affidavit submitted in separate context by an individual with motives unrelated to this criminal matter.
The alien.
That would be the good friend and the alien.
The alien. Yeah.
No police reports or charges are extant from this alleged behavior at a bachelorette party in Maine. No witness has been cross-examined or questioned under oath as to any of this alleged behavior. There is no rational basis to credit this piece of crap, this paper, filed to gain advantage in a custodial family court matter. In contrast, law enforcement officers present on the day of the incident did not report that alcohol was a factor in any way whatsoever and found a normal mother happily at home with her 4-month-old baby. Trial court's revocation cannot be justified based on untested allegations unrelated to the incident, particularly in the shadow of the mountain of evidence to the contrary. And I think this is, finally, number 12, the Commonwealth did not address the ADA argument, and I have some thoughts on that. In its brief before the single justice, what's her name again? Hooch.
Judge Hooch.
And therefore waived it. Appellate argued before the single justice that scram breath testing was medically impossible due to her injury and the Americans with Disabilities Act requiring reasonable accommodations. And case law says they do in these proceedings have to evaluate ADA. In its first discussion of the ADA, it appears in the appellee's full bench brief and was ignored by the Commonwealth in the single justice session. Under Rule 16A9A, arguments raised for the first time at the full bench review need not be considered. So, harumph to that. I do think it may not be ripe because there are administrative bodies that have to look at the ADA issues. That's an argument, but important here, and I used to have her syllabus handy, Justice Budd, Chief Justice Budd, and I think I remember
She's
that.
the one with the background.
Is it Budd or Burr? I can't remember. I've got that wrong.
I think it's Bud.
I think it is Budd. She
think
has
that's right.
some ADA background. So
Yes.
even though unofficial, perhaps throwing that out there, might work. So in conclusion, class, for the foregoing reasons, Ms. Fitzsimmons respectfully requests that the Supreme Judicial Court, 1, address the bail determination de novo consistent with the applicable case law. 2, grant Ms. Fitzsimmons liberty with personal recognizance and a stay-away order from the alleged victim, Noonan, under Section 57, no finding of dangerousness required, or Section 87, bail terms imposed with agreement of the defendant of the bail statute, and vacate the balance of the trial court order, including the provision, this is important because it's bold, including the provision handicapping the probate and family court from handling the custody and visitation decisions in this case. So basically, they have been saying it's not going to be in front of the probate and family court. That seems ridiculous. And or grant and other such non-incarcerative relief if the alternative, if the court deems 58A conditions are necessary. And send the case back to Essex Superior Court before a different judge.
A different judge, not Naaman.
Not Naaman. For the reasons set forth above, Ms. Fitzsimmons respectfully requests the Supreme Court, blah, blah, blah. So there we have it. You heard it here first. So I think it's well written. It's tight. It's clean. The question is the court going to, evaluate it and consider it and do the right thing? I don't know.
Well, that's a whole different thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, will there be more robes protecting robes? I don't know.
In Massachusetts?
I know.
That seems like that would be pretty a foregone conclusion, one could say.
I'm going to reach out to my guy again tomorrow at the clerk's office just to get his take on just how long this might play out. I tried once, never heard back from him. He's a busy guy, but he's been very helpful. So this may be a week in the offing. It may be days. They asked for expedited hearing in the docket where they buried the order. There is a reference to, we acknowledge that expedited process was requested, and we're going to do that. Just nobody knows what the hell expedited is.
Right. Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah. Is that a day instead of a week? Is it a week instead of a month?
I was just going to say, is it a week instead of a month, or is it a month instead of 3 months?
Yeah.
I don't either. I cannot believe, in all honesty, that this has gone on as long as it has.
I know. And again, we say this all the time, having nothing to do with the merits of the case, because it is a very low-level merit-based case. It's a district court case. It shouldn't have happened. It's unfortunate. If there were body cam video, it may never have gone as far as it did. Because the body cam might show what Kelsey Fitzsimmons says happened, which is, I was pointing it at my head, and when he said, Kelsey, don't do it, he meant, don't shoot yourself.
Exactly.
But all of a sudden that became, and again, it's Noonan versus Kelsey. She pointed it at me, and I had to fire. And he missed once. I've never heard where the other bullet is.
There would be a casing.
And did it go in the door that doesn't exist either?
I don't know. I feel like, why do I think there was something about where a bullet, maybe where the bullet went, but again, where is I'm assuming it's some sort of like 9mm Glock. That's what most police officers.
It's a significant.
It would have a casing that would pop out
like that.
Yeah, exactly,
like that.
Exactly. And so, were there 2 of them there? I mean, aliens.
We know where one bullet ended up, and I don't know. I'm assuming it's not a revolver, because a revolver has the chamber, and they would the cases stay in the revolver. If it's a pistol, then they would normally be ejected.
Exactly.
But again, who was there to pick them up? The same people we don't trust about this whole process.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so,
I got questions.
Yeah.
I always have questions.
I'm with you, sister. So we'll see. We'll find out. Maybe learn a little bit more tomorrow about the timing. And again, it's subject to the SJC's wisdom to decide what to do. So let's see. Oh, I'm going to see if there's, before we move on, and we've eaten up so much time already. Shocking. But I think it was important that we got to that.
Absolutely.
And first, I'm
not up against a hard stop tonight.
Okay,
no,
good.
I'm up against a hard stop at 7:00 my time.
Okay, good. So we can slop over the top of the hour. That'd be all right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm good otherwise. Yeah.
Okay. So there's your plug.
Yay!
Get in it. Get on it. Let's see. Kelsey has been in jail for a long time. First, is Kelsey still being tested for drinking? If so, why? That's a very good question. I think the jail is unlikely to test inmates for alcohol because how would they get it unless it's because the jail
Is
is not good at
allowing
their jobs.
right.
They got, we know that in incarceration they have toilet wine and they have all
Oh,
kinds of
yeah.
ways to get around, and there's contraband, all of that.
Absolutely.
The last thing they want to do at the jail is test somebody to prove that they're shitty at their job. So
Well, that's not going to happen.
no, so I that's my understanding. Kathy Bennis 3137. It's a good question, but effectively, Judge McCarthy Naaman was saying, if we can't do the alcohol testing, let's put her in jail. So the theory there is no chance to have alcohol in jail and
So
be a
they
danger
say.
to anybody. Yeah, I mean, there's far worse than alcohol in jail. I think we know that. Okay, so any other questions, folks, on this? We're going to move on to Walsh. Feel free to sprinkle those questions in if you need, but we're going to move on to what happened today in Walsh. But wait, before, let me see if I can do this. Pardon me, just a minute. Let's see if I can.
Get your Tyvek suit on.
I need to get suited up.
Oh yeah. I have nothing, but I came blistering in here, so I thank God I made it.
I'm trapped in my Tyvek suit. There you go. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
okay,
white is your color, Michael.
I'm going to a wedding in this. Let me see if I can zip this up with all my electrical connections. I might electrocute myself.
Be very, very careful. I don't know. It may be, it might be an offensive picture if you're going to a wedding like that. Wasn't it offensive to YouTube for?
Okay. Anytime we do this kind of stuff, I feel it's important to glove up and suit up.
I feel, a little left out. I got to be honest here. I feel like either I'm going to get dismembered or I'm going to get germs or.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my heavens.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sure this is just irreverent and not right, but that's it's on my resume. So today we had the guy, Davis Gould. Is it ironic that the guy who's the CSI guy digging into blood and guts and stuff, his last name is Gould? Gould?
How appropriate.
It just it seems like a lovely gentleman. So
yeah,
what I thought we would do is let him go through some of his testimony, where he's identifying the bags and what was found in each of the bags, including the tools. I had a hatchet here, and I left
before
it,
we do that,
I left it somewhere.
I need to back up to Trooper Kill Me Now.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be an unpopular opinion, I'm quite certain. But as despicable as law enforcement was in the Karen Reed trial, if I'm coming from an objective perspective on Trooper Guarino's
just call him Nikki, baby.
Yep. I think that he may have done well with the jury. He came across not as pompous as he did in Karen Reed. There was some giggling, and I know that there were a lot of I know there were a lot of people like, oh, he's a jerk, and I'm like, you're saying that because of what you saw in Reed, because he was not that way in this particular trial. I was like, oh, you are actually somewhat likable. Who knew?
I was talking to Scott about that. Scott McGinnis was on last night. He was in the courtroom with me yesterday, and that was my point to him. I said, you got to erase that from your brain. First of all, we have to assume the jury doesn't know much because they said they don't know much. Got to go with it. If you can't make that assumption, you'll never get where you need to go. If the jury doesn't know about him like you know about him, like a lot of us know about him, you're right. He comes off professional. He sounds good. Even when he was a little flummoxed about, I don't know why he didn't have the binder there today. Somebody took his binder or something. But on balance, yeah, I had no problem with what he was telling this jury. And if in a vacuum, if that's what they know of Nick
Yes.
Guarino, okay.
Well, and it's very factual based. That's why, behaving the way that some of them did when they were testifying in Karen Reed's, it made no sense to me. And that's when I started saying all the time, if you're not guilty, don't act guilty. And then you don't have to worry about it. And today he didn't act guilty. He acted like, I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this, and the data showed this. And it's like, I can get behind that. All right.
Yeah.
So it restored just a little bit. I know
a little
it's not
bit
popular,
on Cross. They did a decent job of just reinforcing that all of these searches, and that's what he was there for. All of these searches, which have all kinds of gruesome terms, were all post-mortem. The only thing that came up before that were divorce, right? And that's been explained away as family estate planning, basically. You know what I was watching last night? I don't know if you've seen this, or any folks out there have seen The Beast in Me, I think it's called. So it's called. It's is Matthew Rise.
Is it a movie?
It's a
or documentary
series. It's a series on Netflix.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's Matthew. Is it Rice or Reese? I don't know if I pronounce his name properly.
I have no idea.
You'd see him and go, "Oh yeah,
fire away."
In fact, Missy, if you have nothing else to do, you can find a picture of Matthew Reese, and then the woman is from Shop Girl, from Homeland. Who starred in Homeland?
I didn't see Homeland.
Oh my gosh, I got it. I got to get you out more.
I'm sorry. I did watch the Diddy documentary last night, but
oh, did you? How was it?
Well, very, very well done. I mean, I'm not in the business. I would, I would defer to you and your wife on whether it was well done. But I thought it was very informative and well laid out.
Okay,
very much so.
Kind of check it out.
Walks you along the path.
Okay.
Of his career.
It's a slippery path because there's a lot of baby oil involved. So this show, which I can't remember Matthew Reese and the girl, but it's The Beast in Me, and there was a part of the case, part of the show, I think it's episode 5, where there is one of the characters and her husband sitting around a table. He has been accused of a crime, and they're trying to get a plea deal, and the DA is being a hard ass and wants him to do time. Okay. It's a robbery of some sort. It's not a violent crime. And so, or maybe it was like a motor vehicle accident. Anyway, they want him to do time. They start talking to a friend about a paper divorce for purposes of protecting the family assets.
Aha, yes.
So, art imitating life, if you believe Brian Walshe. So it happens.
I think there is possibly some truth to that. I don't, based at least 3 days in, I am not seeing a motive for him coming in the way of some sort of divorce or anything like that. That's not, I haven't seen motive yet. I have in my mind what I think the motive may have been, but I haven't seen anything presented to that effect yet.
Well, tomorrow when the boyfriend is on the stand front and center, and he's supposed to be, I think, all, if not most of the day, that, of course, is Mr. Fastow, right?
I know.
Just an acquaintance. So that they have this dual track. And I have heard a little bit about the money being a motive, all of the insurance. We've heard a ton about insurance. We know that as a result of his convictions for the art fraud, $400,000 or $500,000 in restitution was required. So that could be a motive to get that money, bump her off. Now I'm in the, because he got the money.
Well, and especially because I haven't seen any evidence that has shown that there was $500,000 liquid available to just pay.
No,
we've seen a couple $100,000.
Yes, that was again her money, right?
Exactly.
And there's no evidence that she said, "Honey, you need that? It's yours." We haven't seen that, and we also know that Mama Diana has been paying the rent.
Yes.
6 months up front first, and then the subsequent lease she was paying monthly, but they weren't rolling in it. So $400,000 or $500,000 is that's a big nut. So that's a motive. they'll flesh that out, I'm confident. And now tomorrow we're going to start to hear from the boyfriend, which is going to have the secondary motive.
Well, and
to
I'm
this.
curious about this too. I do want to know whether that's a secondary motive or not, because the defense has repeatedly stated or inferred that they had this open marriage.
Oh yeah, and he's not jealous. He's not jealous. Remember,
Right,
all
right.
these guys that would express some interest in his wife.
I'm
wished he would be
curious.
jealous.
Yes, yeah. So I'm anxious now for new stuff. You know,
Okay.
I got my breadcrumbs yesterday. I was like eating them all up.
Yeah, it was, and today I liked, there's a parade of witnesses. Again, yesterday I mentioned the custodial witnesses are sometimes a mess. If you want just to have an agreement, they had Uber.
Can you not just
Lyft.
stipulate to all the bags? Good grief.
Yeah, I mean, all of that, okay, to each his own. That's just not a way I would have done it. But compared to day one, it was a snappy day.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. So this guy starts talking about bags. This guy, once he gets on the stand, this is the good stuff. This was a great way for the prosecution to finish this day. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's play just a little of this guy, and we'll stop and start it. Just yell at me. Just do what Linda does. Yell at me. Stop! Stop! Could you just stop it? And then I do.
I'll do my best Linda impression. I'll fail miserably, but I'll try.
Okay. So again, this is Davis Gould.
Ms. Gilman, can I ask that you publish what's previously been marked as Exhibit
Turkish
51, file number
How's
6810?
that audio? Is that loud enough?
I can hear it.
Okay.
Sir, do you
the
recognize
chat
this
will
image?
tell us.
Yes,
I'll
I do.
trust the
All
chat
right,
and
so
Missy.
what's happening in this image that night when you were at 300 Forest Street?
This is the contents of one of the trash bags that was separated at the center.
And Ms. Gilman, can you now show us Exhibit 52, file number 6867?
Here's a procedural annoyance. Court TV, sometimes they are allowed to just tap into the electronic display monitor and it's clean and you can actually see it. This is like, whoa, I need some Dramamine because they're going back and forth to that.
You're like,
Yeah. And so I was sitting just
So
in
now
front
what
of
are we
this
looking
screen,
at
which
in
is
relation
great.
to that last
Not so great this way.
image, sir?
Since that last photograph was taken, bench paper was put out onto the floor of the collection center in order to preserve the integrity of the evidence that we were collecting at that point.
And so if it went onto a piece of paper like this, was it going to be collected?
Potentially, yes.
And this bag, sir, that we see on the screen for Exhibit 52, did you have the opportunity to know what was inside this bag, bag one?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us what was discovered inside of bag one?
Inside of bag one was a pair of green boots, a black jacket with red brown stains, and a bracelet inside of the pocket. There was a black purse with red brown stains, a black wallet, and a pair of headphones inside of a case, as well as a pair of socks.
Was anything discovered
You're not on drugs. I just sped up the playback there.
as far as car keys?
Yes, there was a pair of Volkswagen keys as well.
Ms. Gilman, can we have what's been marked as Exhibit 110, file number 6869? Is this also the contents of that first bag?
That's correct.
And Ms. Gilman, can we now have Exhibit 111, which has been marked as 6870? Are these also the contents of that bag?
Yes.
Now, I'd like to ask you about another bag that you found or had the opportunity to examine. Was there a trash bag with a designation 2?
Yes, there was.
What was discovered inside of bag 2?
Inside of bag two were 2 white towels with red brown stains, as well as a piece of tape with apparent gauze and red brown stains inside of it.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 112, which is file number 6898? Sir, is that one of the towels that was found inside of bag 2?
Yes, it is.
And Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 113?
Hey, stop
file
for just a
number
second.
690?
Hey, all right already.
Oh, go back.
All right. Okay. Hold on a sec. You want the bloody
I just-
towels, right? you
Yeah, that one right there. Okay. I wanted someone to ask, what's up with the box that clearly looks like it is complete? I think it's a box anyway, saturated in
The
what
thing
appears
that's,
to be blood
on the
off
left
to the
side
left.
of that number 2. Okay.
Yes. My attention when these pictures came up, my attention went whoop, right over to that.
I wish I could. Let's see.
I
Can
don't know what that is, and no one said anything, because if that is indeed bloodstains, as he's testified, well, he doesn't say blood stains.
No,
He says
yes.
red brown stains, because
Yeah.
the DNA person's going to come in and tell us what the heck it is. But
Yeah, and then he just collected stuff, took it to the lab. But
Correct.
here's a thought I had as well. Normally, dried blood is not as red as this. Look how bright red that is.
very bright red.
I find that interesting. That might be how it would look fresh. They also describe this as what did he say? Human tissue, or
Oh, that was on a different one.
that was on a
Yes.
different one. So there's no
Yes.
human tissue on this one.
Well, I don't know about that.
I thought maybe that would affect the coloring, but yeah, I agree with you. If that is a box or whatever it is, it's dripping with blood.
It's completely. It appears to be completely saturated, which that is important to me, because I feel like that might tell more of the story.
Yeah, well, I mean, people will start to envision. First of all, we know about the cement floor. We've heard about that now. We know about the search that said, how do you get blood out of cement or concrete
And wood.
and wood flooring? So and then we know the rug, which is coming up here. I think part of the rug is in this.
That
picture.
to me is very damning.
We've seen the rug. They showed that picture earlier and cropped it in a way. I mean, to be honest with you, a rug's a rug. I don't see enough detail to say, aha, that's the rug.
I'll tell you, I do see detail, and I'll tell you
Okay.
when we get to it. I'll tell you
All
why I
right.
think that's a little bit of an aha.
The picture that I showed today, which was the one they'd cropped of Anna on her back on that rug, was sort of blown out from what I got. You couldn't really see detail that I'm sure was there. So let's continue.
Correct.
And what's the other items around the towel?
Those are miscellaneous tissues with red brown stains.
Now, was there a bag 3?
Yes, there was.
What was discovered inside of bag 3?
Inside of bag 3 was a white bathrobe with red brown stains.
Ms. Gilman, can we have what's been marked as Exhibit 114, file number 6906? Sir, is this a picture of what was found, the bathrobe found inside of bag 3?
Yes, it is.
Now, was there a bag 4?
There was.
Oh
What
yeah.
was discovered inside of bag 4?
Inside of bag 4 was a pair of gray slippers with red brown stains, a pair of dark gray slippers with red brown stains and trace materials, as well as apparent hairs with red brown stains.
So, Ms. Gilman, if we could have Exhibit 115, file number 6915. Sir.
Okay, stop right there.
recognize this-
Oh wait, I'm the one controlling. 2 pairs of slippers.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, was it just collateral damage? They were in the way during the whatever activity caused the blood.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than not. I mean, it was not the tidiest of homes. I'm not saying they were slobs. Definitely not. But,
DC home was very clean, but the kids didn't live there. So
right. Well, and neither did he. So
right.
I think that's possibly why there was a difference. But it very much to me would. I think you're correct in collateral damage type of situation.
Some spatter or something. So we see the watch.
Yes.
That jar. I don't remember what that.
I don't
had
think
to do
they
with
said anything about
Yeah.
the jar.
They mentioned the slippers, and then of course there's some toweling there. Anyway, moving on.
Image?
Yes, I do.
Directing your attention to this image, the slippers there, which ones are those in the top of it?
The slippers located at the top are the gray slippers.
And at the bottom, what is there next to the left of the jar?
There's a leather strap wristwatch located as well.
And you had said that there was a second pair of slippers that was recovered from that bag?
That's correct.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 116, file number 6929? Sir, can you tell us where the second pair of slippers is in this photo?
Yes, at the bottom center of the photo, you'll see the dark gray slippers with the red brown stains and trace material noted on the bottom of one of the
Are
slippers.
those
What is the
men's
trace material?
slippers?
Trace material could reference
I
a number of things. In this
think
particular
they
instance, it
could
references
be.
the
That would make sense. He was wearing
and
his slashing
didn't-
slippers.
I didn't think that looking at this photograph, but when they did the next one where it's up close and you can actually see the sole of it,
Yeah.
because it's kind of croc looking.
Okay.
like Croc slippers, maybe, or
It
of
just
some
looks
sort.
more manly, to be
Yes,
chauvinistic about it. It just looks like those are guys.
typical man.
Typical man. But that makes perfect sense. So I'm answering my own questions here.
And hairs or fibers that I observed on the slippers.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 117, file number 6934? Sir, what
Yeah,
is the trace
that's
material you saw
nice,
that
yeah.
night when you were at 300 4th
That's
Street?
nasty.
In the photo on the right-hand side of the overturned slipper,
There's
there
hairs
are
on
the
the
apparent
one?
hairs and fibers that I call trace materials
Oh.
located on the right-hand side at the toe end of the slipper.
Sir, I'd like to ask you some questions about bag number 5. What did you observe inside of that? What did you observe in bag 5?
Bag number 5 contained pieces of rug with red-brown stains on some of the pieces.
Here comes your rug.
My
Ms. Gilman,
rug.
can we have Exhibit 118, which is file number 6948? Sir, what are we looking at here?
These are pieces of a rug with red-brown stains that I noted on 2 of the pieces.
That's not the one.
And Ms.
No, I
Gilman, can we
see
have
it.
Exhibit
Is that it
119,
in the
file
lower
number
part of the picture
6944?
too, or no? Yeah, that looks.
sir, what
This-
To me, that looks generic and kind of greenish, which is what the photo looked like to me.
This looks like carpet.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It doesn't look like a rug to me. This looks like carpet.
Okay, so
And
let's
there's
think
going to
about
be
that.
another picture that I actually think is a rug.
Okay. And I see on the right-hand side of these, pieces that are stacked up, it looks like it has, maybe it's a pattern, maybe it's not, maybe it's just dirt. But if you remove carpet from a room, whether it's got blood on it or some other reason for removing it, you're going to have that's what you got, just shreds of a carpet.
Correct.
There was no carpet in the basement.
No,
And the rug, I'm trying to think from that picture, was the rug on top of carpet? Or was
I
it on
don't know. I didn't know that was going to be important to pay attention to
I
at
don't
that
know.
particular
I wonder
time.
if I can find it here, just to sort of answer that question. Where did I hide that picture? Let's see. So I think this is the picture. Yeah, let me see if I can bring that into the mix, and I can answer my own question once again. It's I thought it was on hardwood. It is. It's on hardwood flooring. So once again, you're not going to have. I thought, well, maybe it bled through.
And it could
Mhm.
have.
It could have.
But I
to
have
the
other
wood floor.
questions.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna ignore this and move on then, because I'm looking at it and I can see that it's a rug on wood flooring. That's what it is. Take my word for it. Okay,
I
go
do
ahead.
indeed.
You had another question before I get back to this thing?
No, it's we need to get me to the other piece
Get
of rug.
me to the other rug. Okay. Get thee to the rug.
Chop, chop, chop. Now I'm getting into Linda mode.
Yeah.
See,
Okay. Well, you're only talking over me half as much, so that's nothing. Okay, here we are. We're back. Oops, no, not that one. Not that
Hey!
one. Hey, not that one. We want this one. Okay. Is that one there now? Is it? Are you going to obey my commands?
Brown staining
There we
on the
go.
rugs.
On the 2 leftmost pieces, the left piece has red-brown stains in the bottom right corner, and
Oh,
then the one in the center of the
so
photo has
red.
red-brown stains on the majority of the piece of rug.
it's pretty pinkish red looking.
Opportunity to see anything produced from the 6th bag?
I did, yes.
What was produced from the 6th bag?
Inside the sixth bag was additional pieces of rug with red-brown staining on those as well.
Here comes your
And
better rug.
besides red-brown staining from the rug, what was discovered as far as a Tyvek suit?
There was a white Tyvek suit discovered in the bag as well, along with a wrapper for a Tyvek suit.
You
Was
styling,
anything else discovered
Michael.
as far as a safety goggles or anything like that?
Yes, safety goggles were discovered, as well as additional miscellaneous items.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 120,
Oh, he
which
did
is
have
file number
safety goggles.
6951?
Damn, I got those somewhere.
Sir, do you recognize this image?
Yes, I do.
What is this
Look at
image?
that bag.
This is an image of the safety goggles and Tyvek suit wrappers that were
Same
found in bag
thing,
number
look
6.
at that.
Tell us what
Branding
Tyvek
is
suit
key.
is.
A Tyvek suit is typically a piece of personal protective equipment that one would wear in order to protect.
What would you pay for this? It's like now it's time for Price is Right.
Oh,
Tyvek
don't
suit.
do that. You'll be accused of grifting.
I'm not promoting them. I'm just curious what people think a Tyvek suit costs. And I got it at Home Depot, as I believe
$25.
my wife did.
That's my guess.
Okay.
Because I was going to say
Lower.
$24.99,
Lower,
but
lower.
$13.
Higher.
Where's
higher,
Bob Barker when we need
higher,
him?
higher.
18.
Bing, $17.99. Yeah, there
They're
you go.
still doing the 99, huh?
So,
Okay.
yeah, well, it's I knew it was 17 when I bought it. They got me the psychological
Yeah,
lower
right.
price. Okay, let's see what else has he got there. The tarp.
themselves from anything they might be working with.
Have you ever worn one?
I have, yes.
When would you wear one?
I have worn one specifically during training sessions where there are biological fluids that we are experimenting with.
I wore one at the Fitzsimmons hearing where the judge was slinging bullshit, so I was wearing a Tyvek suit.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 121, which is file number 6956? Sir, do you recognize this image?
This,
I do, yes.
What is this
Okay.
an image of?
This is
This
an
is
image
part
of
of it.
more of the pieces of the rug.
Yeah.
and you'll
And Ms. Gilman, can
see.
we have Exhibit?
See, now he's making it sound like it's all just pieces of the rug.
Yeah, okay, but this to me looks different than the other rug.
Yeah, it does to me too. It looks like it has some greenish pattern of some
Got a
sort.
greenish pattern in it, and I thought when I saw the picture of her on the floor, it had a greenish hint to it as
Okay.
well. And so, two things. There, I believe there's another photograph besides this one. The below the piece that's kind of folded there, that looks like grass staining to me,
Oh, well, it does look like a deep
like
deep green.
dragging
Oh, so you think
across
maybe
grass,
to the
possibly.
car? Okay.
So that was telling to me. And then if you keep going, I
I'm going to
believe
try
there's
this again. Hold on. I'm going to try this
yeah,
again.
absolutely.
I'm going to try and put that picture up so we can pursue your theory that it looks like some sort of greenish-ness. And you'll see, again, it's a bad picture. I can zoom in a little bit here.
It is a bad picture.
Yeah, it is. It's a picture of a picture.
Right. But
So
see how
there you
it
can
looks
see
like
it.
it
It does
has
have a mottled kind of MOTT,
and like a
mottled kind of look.
minty green kind of coloring to it.
Yes.
And so that kind of stuck in my brain that this is where I believe that rug was.
Okay.
And so keep going and I'll have more that I have in my mind. I don't necessarily have a theory as to what happened because I really don't. I have a lot of questions, but there are certain pieces of evidence that I go,
Okay. Well, let's see how much he goes into if he mentions the deep green part here.
Number 122, file number 6952.
Oh, he's moving on. Tyvek time.
there's another
This is a
picture
photograph
of
the
that.
lower half of the Tyvek suit from bag number 6.
Is it coming or did we go over it already?
No, I think it's
Did you
still
have the opportunity
coming.
to see the contents of a seventh bag that night?
Yes, I did.
What was inside the seventh? What was produced
I
from the
believe
seventh?
there were 10
bag?
bags total.
Your Honor, may I
Yes.
refer to my notes?
Okay.
I've never heard a courtroom where everybody's so polite about looking at their notes. You know, it's almost presumed,
Yeah.
but it's like, if it's okay with counsel, okay with,
Yeah. Is everybody cool?
nobody's going to say, no notes for you.
The 7th bag contained a bottle of hydrogen peroxide, a ice pack, a blue flat sheet as well.
Remember the search.
And sir,
You use
I
hydrogen
neglected to ask you
peroxide?
about the rug
Yep.
as well. I showed you one image, which was Exhibit 121. So, Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 123, file number 6968?
Ha!
Sir, what is
There it
that looking at?
is.
Bam.
This is another piece of the
Okay.
rug from bag number 6
So
containing
this one, a couple different things, because this is when he talks about tissue, is
Oh, okay.
on this particular piece. To me, this rug looks entirely different than those scraps we very first saw. This looks like a very thin rug. The other one looked like
I
carpet.
agree. Yeah, this does look like a throw rug that I would slip on when I went into the room.
Exactly. You'd
Mhm.
have to have the gripper stuff under
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And the reason it is important to me is if this was if the rug we saw in the picture is this rug and it has this much staining, that to me is not necessarily indicative of dismemberment. That is more indicative of something happened, and that's the location in which it happened. That's how I initially saw this.
You know, because, you know, we don't know the extent of the dismemberment. You know, was it just
Right.
cutting the head off, cutting the arms off? There
Or
had to
maybe
be-
did he try and then was like, oh, this is way too much work
Yeah.
and way too difficult.
Yeah, that's possible. So we don't know how many events there were as part of this dismemberment. Could have been a number of them. In fact, I think there's not enough blood for a total
Exactly.
Dorito dismemberment.
But there's enough blood for me as a juror to be sitting and looking at this and thinking, something happened. She didn't just die and then he did what he is claiming something happened. There was an argument. There was something
Yeah,
happened.
the cause of
That's
death, which we have no clue about. Yeah.
correct. That's what would have these types of photographs and this type of evidence would have me more along that line than, yeah, he pulled the rug out of the family room and decided he's just going to start,
Use it as a tarp to when he cut her
yeah,
up.
or even to take it down to the basement. And then it would also explain to me if this is the case, it would have saturated through to the wood and he would have had staining on the wood as well that he would have had to have addressed.
I got you. All right, let me jump in with a couple of notes here. Hold on, stand by. Thank you, Joanna White, 9-month membership. I appreciate that. Have we been on the air for 9 months? Holy cow! Oh, here, look at Linda's interrupting me even when she's not here. Linda just DM. Tell Michael it's Matthew Reese. It's spelled R-H-Y.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And you know why it's spelled R-H-Y-S? The guy's from England. But
Ah.
he plays Americans so well.
It's like Jason Clark.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
am absolutely
It blows me
fascinated
away.
by him.
Also, if anybody watches Yellowstone, the actress that plays the daughter, the feisty one that's always, she's Australian. These people are so good.
I know.
I didn't know. I remember Matthew Reese was in Perry Mason. I didn't watch the reinvention of Perry Mason. I thought it was just too weird and dark, and I
didn't
liked
watch it
the old
either.
Perry Mason. Okay, so anyway, what else? Oh, here, Linda once again. Hit the like, help the channel for Linda. Yeah, don't worry about me. Just can we just help Linda? Can we come? Like
Just get it there for her. Come on.
We're doing a telethon. Let's see. There it is. There's the spelling.
Yep.
Which led me to the Rice Reese. Let's see what else we got here. Stand by. Hold on. Oh, I guess we should give you another plug, right? There's your TikTok. Okay, let me get back to this then. I think I cleared up all of those. Let's get back into the stuff. Come on, where did you go? I've lost.
I also really want to have a conversation about the hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, I think that's a good conversation. Came up today with the landlord because they were talking about the kind of things he would repair as normal wear and tear. I'm very familiar with that as a landlord myself. So I've not heard enough about how it happened or what it means in the big picture.
Yeah.
Somebody said it happened. They got in an argument one night, and okay, that still I need more.
Well, if those were the kind of arguments that were taking place before this happened, that does not bode well for Brian.
No, finally you would hear something that would suggest an acrimonious physical relationship.
Right, a pattern.
That might go as far as murder. Okay.
Brown stains with apparent tissue.
Apparent
What
tissue.
is apparent tissue?
That's what he phrased it.
That's correct. Apparent tissue from the forensic perspective is a material that may or may not resemble human skin tissue. In this particular instance, based on my observations, that's what I called it.
Ms. Gilman, if you take that down, and if we could have exhibit 1246974. And so, sir, does this represent the contents of the seventh bag?
Yes, it does.
And so in the upper center, what is that brown bottle?
It is a bottle of hydrogen peroxide.
And the cut up labels off to the side, did you note what those were for?
I didn't note what they specifically were for. I grouped them under the miscellaneous items that were in this bag.
And now, sir, did you have the opportunity to see an eighth bag in the contents?
Yes, I did.
Ms. Gilman, can we have exhibit 125, which is HAS 7002?
Yeah.
Sir, what is it that we're looking at here?
This is a photograph of the contents of bag number 8.
And what was produced from bag number 8?
Bag number 8 contained a hammer, a pair of wire snips, a hatchet, and a hacksaw with red-brown stains on it.
And what are wire snips, and then what are shears?
They're sharpened tools that can be used to cut an item of interest.
So which one of those two objects is snips, and which one is a shear?
The shears are located.
Did you get this right when he asked that question? Which one is
I
shears?
did.
I did too. I do have some shears somewhere. I couldn't find them. Then there's packing tape, which I don't remember him talking about.
No.
But what's right in front of the packing tape? It looks almost like a cup.
Yeah, it does look like a cup, maybe a cap to.
I just I don't think he talked about it.
Located on the right-hand side of the photo. The snips are located in the center between the hacksaw and the hatchet.
And then we moved on. It's all that was discussed on that
Yeah,
picture.
it's a little
Now,
cup.
sir,
I think.
I want to ask you about bag 10. Skip it. What was recovered from the 10th bag?
The 10th bag contained a large piece of tarp that was taped together. So multiple pieces were taped together to form a larger tarp.
Ms. Gilman, can we have exhibit 126?
What happened to 9? Did they skip 9?
Is this what the 10th bag looked like, sir?
Prior to opening the contents, yes.
I don't understand this
And,
one at all.
The taped together tarp?
Tape together tarp.
Well, it's hard to. I mean, I saw a bag earlier, like a package that has. It looked like it had a tarp in it. I don't know if it's at 8 by 10 or. But if he had 2 tarps that weren't large enough, he taped them together to cover the bigger area.
Right.
Um,
Right.
But are there stains and stuff on this one too? I don't think so, right?
No,
Gilman,
it
can we
seemed
have
like it was
exhibit-
clean.
127. What is it we're looking at here in 127, sir?
This
And
is a
why do you have the
photograph of,
booties on?
protective booties.
Well,
Your slippers
anybody
are
knows.
covered.
Let me see if I can get my foot up here. Everybody knows that this
You're going to hurt yourself. Come on.
the Tyvek suit comes with these built-in booties.
What on earth is that? Maybe he didn't realize that when he bought the Tyvek suit that,
Could be.
and so he thought he needed booties, but then he didn't use them anyway because we have the slippers that are,
I have
all
a
covered.
feeling it kind of unfolded in steps,
yes.
literally, like
And the
steps with
panic
shoes
was
on
on-
and steps with slippers, and then as it got maybe more messy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't have the experience in doing what he did, I could
That
understand
are
that.
worn over the bottoms of shoes.
And where were those recovered from, sir?
Those were also recovered in bag 10 once the contents were emptied.
And Ms. Gilman, can we have what's been previously marked as exhibit 50, file number 7029? What is this, sir?
This is a photograph of the tarp from bag number 10 as it was being unfurled from the bag.
And Ms. Gilman, can we now have exhibit 128, file number 7035? What is this image of, sir?
This is an image of additional items from bag number 10, one of them being an apparent piece of insulation and then some scraps from containers.
What the heck is
Insulation.
that?
What was done?
Insulation.
You see what I'm saying? That the ceiling, they have talked about this hole in the ceiling. I'm
Yeah.
very curious how that is going to unfold to be important to me as a juror.
You know what's
Because
weird?
There's something there.
There are the pieces that were in the ceiling are now in the or in the dresser. The
In the
nightstand.
nightstand. Yeah. In the
Which is
second
where
drawer.
That's where I store my extra pieces of sheetrock.
Oh, I mean,
don't you?
we never kept it in the garage when my husband was a finished carpenter. You just
No,
slide that
just-
puppy right into my nightstand.
That's right. Underwear? No, I've got a lot of sheetrock to store. Get that out of there. Okay.
With all of these items?
The items that were taken out of all the bags, we discussed amongst the crime scene services section, detective unit, and myself, which items would be going to which units first for analysis. Items of evidence that would be going straight to the criminalistics unit for analysis, I would be collecting. Items that would be analyzed for potential prints would be going with the crime scene services section, and state police detective unit would be responsible for the remaining items.
All right. And scene. So obviously, stop. Thank you. Obviously, his job is collection. It then goes to the lab. A lot of times we'll see CSI guys or gals that will do presumptive blood testing in the field, right? And,
Yes.
And then it goes to the lab for verification. This guy doesn't do that. I guess they just move it right along.
Well, and here I do recollect yesterday during all of the electronic data that the timing that over the span of those 48 hours from New Year until and then 48 hours after that, probably round about the 3rd, I remember doing some calculating that he'd only had about 6 hours sleep.
Oh, yeah, because he was
And
so
the
busy
only-
doing searches. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the only reason I deduced that he had only had on that New Year's night, it was somewhere around 1:30 to 2 o'clock in the morning, and then nothing until, and I don't even think he was sleeping then, to be honest. I think that was all panic in those hours. And
For one reason or another.
exactly. It was definitely panic.
Yeah.
And then 5:40-ish or whatever is when everything starts, all the searches start and all of that. And then it just continued almost completely straight until that next night. Again, until 1, 2 in the morning. And then there was a 3 or 4 hour span of time that there's nothing. And then right back on the electronics doing searching. So lack of sleep will definitely cause some issues with coping skills and logical thought and things like that. So
I'm also curious, 2, 4, and 6-year-old little boys will cause some coping skills issues as well.
Yeah.
Who was taking care of them during this crazy time? Did they already say that they were with relatives or something?
I don't know. I would guess there's a strong possibility they weren't home.
Yeah,
Only
I
because there
hope
was a
so.
because there was a party, it was New Year's, we're going to have, so that would lend itself to me thinking that they weren't there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh, Dawn.
I can't remember the detail. Dawn978 has good taste. I just subscribed to your channel. You are so pleasant and
Oh,
kind. Looking forward
thank
to
you
seeing
so much.
That's why we like to share. Thank you, Dawn978.
Oh, Zoe is saying she thought the nanny came over on the 1st. Oh, well, then that would make absolute sense. So he would have had free reign.
On the 1st, but remember it was like early morning hours of
Correct.
the 1st. So the kids slept through it if they were there. Yeesh.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't even want to. Can you imagine that's all happening and one of them wakes up? I had a nightmare, Daddy, and you're the reason.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be
Yeah.
brutal.
I know my son, he could sleep through just about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I raised him that way, so I shouldn't be surprised.
The
But
GM106 is
Oh.
saying they said the kids were in bed. Again, that just freaks me out. The thought that they may have stumbled upon what was happening to mommy. Oh, yikes.
yeah, I do think there's a possibility that she may have bathed in some way and or took a shower, and that's why the robe has the blood on it that it has. I think something happened when they were going to go to bed, and whether that was an argument about what's his Fastow, is that his name tomorrow?
Fasto, yeah, the boyfriend.
Maybe it was about that. And even if they had an open marriage,
Yeah, that's all very sketchy, about not being jealous and open marriage, blah, blah, blah. GM106 says, I think he saw the sexting with the boyfriend, and she was probably leaving to go see him, and they argued in the middle of the night, and he killed her in a rage. Remember, the best stories are part true and part
yes.
made up, right? So she may have she may have advised him, look, I'm getting out of here. I'm not sticking around. Tuesday was the original day I'm leaving. I can't take it anymore. I'm going tomorrow, which would have been the 1st, Saturday, Sunday, the 1st. And that may have caused all of this to spiral out of control.
I do think he had some motive with not wanting to move to or not with her not taking the kids to DC. I think he wanted them there. And the reason I think he wanted them there is I think we may have a little bit of an Adelson mama coming up.
Well, she didn't come across like that to me. She seemed very warm and friendly.
Oh yeah. She was just a barrel of laughs, wasn't she? Yeah, she's not a talker. Brian is a talker. She's not.
Yeah. So he didn't get that from her, but she's going to be talking.
I wonder, since she was so heavily involved in their marriage. I mean, let's just call it what it is. When no one else is involved in my husband's finances, it's just the two of us. That's it. So when you have another family member that is literally inserted in this dialogue that you have, it makes you have questions.
Oh yeah, and we have to remember we've only seen 3 days. So
yes,
I've recalculated. I believe this thing will be over in 2 weeks.
I do too. I was watching earlier when you were talking about the timing on it, and I thought, man, I think next Friday we might be looking at giving jury instructions.
Yeah, obviously the wild card is Brian Walshe testifying, which I think is more likely than not. and
Absolutely.
that's a day plus.
Well,
right?
she alluded to that at the
I
end
know
of
she did, and I was talking about how she kind of slipped that in when they were talking
Mm,
about the plea deals and how the Commonwealth expects to use that, and if they do, how is it relevant? And I think the plea deals in and of themselves are wrong. Um, we'll see how it plays out, but in that conversation, she's like, and I don't mean when he testifies. Like what? What?
right.
So
So
somebody
obviously,
told her.
sidebar conversations are alluding to the fact that that's what he is intending to do.
Yeah, which
So
makes perfect sense. We get it.
yeah,
It's the
I don't
only
think that is.
evidence of whatever he says happened.
I don't think that's going to help him at all. I think that might be the nail in the coffin for him.
That's, when you think of, we think of the different cases, we think of Doug Weinstein's case out of somewhere in Georgia. I can't remember the name of the town. It was near where the Ahmaud Arbery case happened. Anyway, he took the stand when I think he was doing okay, and then he took the stand. People hated him, convicted him in a minute. Then you have Jimmy Scandarito. He took the stand. Jury loved him, acquitted him of the murder, found him guilty of the two things that Walsh has already pled guilty to.
I don't find Brian Walsh to be
Not likable.
Likable.
Not likable.
So
Now,
that's
people, what
going
they've heard, they hate.
the
From
constant.
those interviews. Yeesh.
Yeah, yeah, and so he's getting up there with already a disadvantage because they've heard
Mhm.
so much from him already.
Yep.
I don't think this is going to go a long time. I do think that the judge is right in not allowing the guilty pleas to come in. I think it would be way too prejudicial.
Yeah, I think it's a problem, but she's giving them the opportunity to figure it out.
Yeah,
And
and I like
it
that
sounded
too.
almost like the defense was not fighting it all that
Well,
strongly.
they came right out in their openings, and we're just like,
He said
"Yep,
he's guilty of this. He lied about this. Yeah.
yeah."
It's
It's like,
very
what?
interesting. Primetime KCL, was he going to try and put her in the ceiling? That would be ambitious, but who knows? Or hide evidence in the ceiling. I'd go maybe more with that, but I need to know when that happened. When did that?
Mm-hmm.
Was it part of some sort of prior altercation, or was it part of his post-mortem plan?
It's
I don't know.
strange they just keep talking about it. I feel like it's like this dangling participle.
It's hanging over their heads. Is that what you're saying? The ceiling is hanging
Yes.
over their heads. Okay, all right.
And I want to know how that's going to get wrapped up. But I mean, do you think the defense is going to put anyone other than Walsh on?
I'm not sure if when mom is going to testify, because she could go either way. I don't know if he would be a defense witness or they'll just use her in the prosecution's case, and the cross would be more like part of the defense case. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But there may be a mental health expert, maybe a marriage expert or counselor. I don't know. I'm just thinking, who could support this belief that she just died? It's got to be some medical expert, I think.
Well, and I'll tell you, as a mom, I probably another unpopular opinion coming.
We're used to it.
I have some questions about kind of maybe what she wanted her future to be going toward. To not be with your kids on a holiday
Mm-hmm.
is pretty significant, especially at that age. 6, 4, and 2. Those are young children to not be around for a holiday. And it sounds like she made some trip overseas that he didn't even know about.
Yeah, to Dublin
and so
Frankfurt.
I'm not dogging on Anna Walsh in any way. I'm just saying,
way to beat up on the victim.
I'm wondering if she was contemplating and getting some plans in place. Maybe she had been for a while. Maybe she was socking money away that he didn't necessarily know about until after she was gone, of course. I don't know, but I get a feeling that I'm super anxious for tomorrow because he might be able to fill in some of the blanks for us. I get the impression she was planning things for a life that maybe didn't involve him.
It could be, and it doesn't make her look good as a mommy that she drives up there on Christmas Day and gets there at 8:00 at night, which is probably past their bedtime on Christmas Day. So I don't know the genesis of all of that, but if we're going to look at both sides of whatever this domestic issue was, that to me seems weird for mom.
I thought it was weird too. I've always thought it was strange. I'm like, I'm not saying she's a bad mom. How old was she when she passed away?
I want to say 42, but somebody check me on
Mm.
that. Check me on that. I got my
So
cheat sheet here somewhere.
it's possible, she got this great new career. I've heard about how much more money she was making. It raises some questions for me
Yeah, I mean, it isn't
to
just
think that maybe she was,
guys that can be jerks in that scenario.
well, and not even so much that, but just, hey, you know what? I have lived my life for everybody else for a really long time. I'm having some success, and I'm going to kind of relish in this a bit, and I'm okay with that. My kids are being taken care of. I know my husband is going to take care of them. We've got a nanny, so they're cared for. But right now, I want to
Little me
be a little
time.
selfish.
Okay.
Exactly, and I am
39, I'm hearing. 39. Okay.
yes, and I am in no way ripping on her for that, because I think it is important for women to know who they are and to express their uniqueness and their singularity from time to time,
Yeah, I get
because
that.
you can't just be a unit all the time, and that's it.
She's human. And I think we can
Exactly.
agree, no matter what failings people may find in that behavior, you shouldn't be killed and chopped into pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I am in no
that's where I
way.
draw the line. Zoe B18, who mentioned that she's 39, thank you for that. He doesn't come across as the most organized and logically minded person.
Not at all.
No, not at all. GM106 is just weird maternal manners. Yeah, again, I'm not going to judge her too harshly, but
No.
it did strike me as odd for mom.
You don't get a manual when you have kids. You figure it out, you bump along and hope you're doing the right thing, and that's basically it. Try not to
Yeah,
do too much
That's right.
damage.
That's right. The goal is not to screw them up too badly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Trust, love. Hey, great people. Great job today, Michael. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Love, trust is love.
Yes. What is this? Zoe, she's got a lot to say. If Zoe is a girl, I'm not trying to say anything. Snarkastic Sam, no reports of her being involved in the art fraud. That's true.
Yeah, I don't think she knew anything about
That was
that.
all him, that
Mhm.
genius, that brain trust. One of these days, I've found them, and I keep forgetting to grab them and post them. The art that he Andy Warhol
forged.
Now, Andy Warhol's an acquired taste. Some of his stuff's bizarre. I love
Mhm.
the museum is in Pittsburgh, where my son now lives, and I've been there. It's an amazing museum. From the canned soup stuff that he did, which is about as
Yeah.
traditional as it gets, to some pretty weird stuff. We'll share at some point the art that he knocked off, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I like either one. Not sure I understand either one, but there's definitely, you could see differences to the tune of whatever he charged for them, and ultimately had to pay the
Ooh.
price. So,
And
oh,
why?
man.
Just why?
Yeah, money. I mean, we know that. I don't know if he had some issues, or some people think that's work. This is my job. I'm a criminal, white collar, however you want to describe it. They'd rather do that than work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I never understand it, because it seems pretty easy to me anyway to work. I mean, although I would love to get rid of my pesky day job.
Yeah, can you disclose what that is or not?
I really can't.
Okay, that's cool.
It's
Just thought I'd
for
ask.
security reasons that I can't.
I got you.
I'm very
I had to
high
ask.
level. I'm very high level in the CIA. No.
I understand that, and you're in the witness protection program as well.
Exactly.
I understand. All right then. Well, I've taken every minute of your time, because you got to get out of here, and I got to get out of here. It's almost it's a quarter to the top of the hour, as we used to say back when I was doing some network stuff. Because you might be heard and seen across the country, you never said the actual hour. You just said it's 10 before the hour, or it's a quarter till, or it's a quarter after. So I will just say it is now 17 before the top of the hour, and
I'm heading to another channel. Now I won't be on mine. I'm going someplace.
Well, where are you
else.
going so people can find you? Where are you going?
I am going to be. I'll have a link to my channel, but Calling All Beings. I have been on with them several times in the past, and
Cool.
they have a case out of Florida, Jason Veach, that we're going to be talking about, and man that was lost his life in a bar fight. And his death was ruled a homicide, and there are no charges. No one's been
Oh.
charged. So
Oh.
there's a lot of dynamics, and so that's where I'm going to. That's where I'm heading to chit
All
chat
right.
about that now.
Well, we appreciate that. We have we don't really have an official list of guest hosts here, but you're on the top of that list if we had one.
Well, I
so-
appreciate it. I
yeah, and-
always like coming and
and
hanging
you're
out.
welcome anytime, and I appreciate you doing that. And the pay is, I know it's unbelievable.
I
It's hard,
am
it's hard
rolling
to
in
turn
the dough.
down. It's hard.
Rolling in it,
and your
Michael.
side job as an art fraudster is keeping you above water.
No, I'm a
Yeah.
forfeiter or a
Fortuner?
It's late.
You're
Words are
forfeiting your
hard.
time. That's for sure.
Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it's time.
Okay, well, you need 10 minutes to regroup before your next performance. So
Thanks so much for having me, and I
Oh, always
always
a
have a great
pleasure.
time.
thank you. We'll talk to you again.
Thank
Bye.
you.
All righty. So tomorrow, don't forget, we got Fastow. The boyfriend is going to be on all day tomorrow. And, oh, look at who's here. It's the big mouth. Come here, hop up. Say hello. Say hello. Look at that. Say hello. Yes. Uh-huh. 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 You said what about Brian Walshe? What? That is outrageous. Wait till the jury decides the case, please. Anyway, so we'll have Fastow will be on tomorrow. I'm not sure my availability. I'll definitely do the lunch hour, the 1 o'clock, as we've done before, and we'll see how it goes from there. Appreciate your time, effort, attention. As always, Linda Kenny Bodden is, I heard she was en route to Atlantic City. You didn't hear that from me. And we may hear more on the Fitzsimmons case tomorrow. We don't know how the court is working things out. Or maybe I'll be arrested because I got a copy of documents that don't seem to be filed yet. Anyway, have a great evening. I'm Michael Bryant. This is Justice Served TV. And in the midst of everything, please try to do the right thing.